Link engaged.
Link engaged indeed. Welcome back to the TeamSpeak Team Liquid StarCraft 2 Open. This could be the wrap-up game for Drewbie, and Kyhol must win this game in order to plug in that life support and stay alive. Drewbie takes the first 2 games, although in game number 2, it looked like he struggled just a little bit there, Chill, and now we are going to be moving on to Metalopolis in some close positions here. Let's get the countdown going and start game number 3. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready too. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And take it away, sir.
So we're in game number 3. This could be the final game of the best of 5 as Drewbie is up 2-0 in the finals of the TL Open. We have him, Root.Drewbie, spawning in the left position of Metalopolis as the blue Terran, and his opponent in the bottom right is, we're going with Kyhol as the red Terran. And just again, for all you internet geniuses out there, we don't know the results of these matches, so there could be 5 games, there could be 3.
But chill, I saw 5 replays.
There are dummy replays. We have anticipated this move, and I just want to point out the guy who says he knows the results and predicted a 2-1 for Rhett. Well, sucks to be you.
Wasn't it 2-1? Oh, 2-1 for Rhett. I see.
For Rhett.
Yeah, for Rhett. Yeah, it was 2-1, but obviously not in there. So, yeah, good job. Sherlock Holmes not coming out on top on that one.
Everyone's a genius on the internet.
Hey, you know what? Everyone is a genius on the internet. There's truth to that, and that's why it's so great. So, opening moments here of the TVT matchup. Of course, Kyhol here, our red Terran, must win this one to stay alive. And we've seen some good pushes from him. But I think ultimately it is that little bit of extra experience that Drewbie has. That, okay, yes, I know how to deal with this. And, okay, this may look really bad, and I may have lost this or that, but I know I can how I can transition back into an uphill battle that will ultimately give me the advantage. So we do see an early scout here from Kyhol making his way out. Unfortunately, the wrong direction as he goes counterclockwise. He'll quickly find out that he's going to be the close air positions here on Metalopolis. So we've got the initial barracks going down. And once again, I think we are in a... Nope, both guys getting their refineries at the same time. So we're pretty much on the same page for both players.
Yeah, I mean, bringing up the production tab shows the Orbital and Marines made it exactly the same time. Supply depots almost exactly... Oh, actually, no. Looks like Drewbie has decided to stay on 1 refinery. Meanwhile, Kyhol has decided yet again to go for that 2nd refinery. And it looks like he's reverting back to the build he tried in Game 1, which is unfortunate because I think that's a build that didn't work out too well.
Well, maybe he knows, what he needs to do on it. Obviously the map selection might have something to do with it. And he is going to scout his opponent here, manages to get in there with just 9 hit points. And that Marine is going to track him down and take him out as SCV Hunt is on the way. We do have Factory already going down for... only one of our players. Now, this is exactly what Kyhol did in the first one. He opted to go reactor on his barracks and then put down his factory. And that was pretty much the only deviation that these 2 players had. However, it did not really help him. In fact, I would be willing to bet that Drewbie, just with a great macro game, had just as many Marines in the early portions of that matchup.
Yeah, I'm wondering, looking at the build order, why, because it seems to be that he wants to get the Raven out quickly or he wants to get the Banshees out quickly, whichever it may be. I'm wondering why he doesn't put the factory down first and then make the reactor, and I'm thinking, well, maybe he's lost to a couple kind of Marine all-in rushes with SCVs, and he finds he needs that number of Marines to deal with it. I'm not sure. Also could have, just put down a bunker. So a little bit strange here. I feel like Kyhol could work on refining his build order a little bit more as he throws down the tech lab and now going to make the starport out of vision so it doesn't get scanned.
Yep, and it is going to be all the way over here, as Chill mentioned. Now, Drewbie does like his drops, and I like this. Drewbie has actually brought a Hellion out. It's going to take a little bit of damage, but it'll roast this Marine in the process. So he'll do some scouting with that. Meanwhile, 5 Marines, an additional Hellion coming out for Drewbie. I was going to say, Drewbie is a guy who likes his drops. These are great positions for a dropping Terran on Metalopolis. Do you think that we might see him go aggressive in that manner?
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. He's getting his medevac out first, and it's really easy in this position to drop on the left side of your opponent's main and kind of show it, and then bring your army around and gain control of his ramp. Hellion trying to go up into the main of Kyle gets denied and sent on his way. Let's see how much scouting that Drewbie actually got out of that, and well, we can't see now because the scan goes off. He sees the reactor, he sees the tech lab on the factory, but does not see the starport.
Nope.
Which is kind of the main point. But yet again, it's a Raven. Not sure I like this week.
Well, again, maybe he's just getting ready. Now, we did see the Raven produce a point defense drone that ultimately didn't do much until the Vikings came out. So it does seem like an interesting choice when you're not, when you haven't really scouted that yet. And we do have 2 Hellions loaded up here into the medevac. A third now has been added, and so we will watch to see what this medevac is going to be doing on its way over. Now, in anticipation of this, we do have this little supply depot here on vision, and Kyhol looks very much ready for this, as he is going to just sit over here to the side. He's spread his Marines out very nicely, and it will be difficult for Drewbie to get a dropship in here. He's going to scout around. Oh, he goes ahead and lets him off. He does get a couple of shots, picks them right up, minimizes damage there.
Really nice by both players. Nice by Kyle trying to deny the drop, and nice by Drewbie minimizing damage once he realized it had been anticipated. And now Drewbie going to move out and expand almost instantly. Kyle, meanwhile, has his expansion already up, turning it into an orbital, going to fly away. Meanwhile, he's going to swap the starport with the reactor and move the barracks over to get a tech lab. As we saw in game 1, he's got his tank sieged up to defend against any drops, and looks like Drewbie wants to move those Hellions around into the natural now.
Yeah, he's got 3. He's going to move forward. Oh, but there's a siege tank there. Oh, it manages to take 1 out, going to move around. Even takes a shot at that statue, and then moves down and is pretty much walled off right here. Can't do much. Those Marines may take him out, but no. Oh, you managed to get away with 1 hit point, you dirty Hellion. And now he'll move forward to the front as he secures his expansion here. So Drewbie at his pace. You can also see he got a Raven as well.
Drewbie getting a reactor now on his starport, but he didn't have one available, so he's going to make that from scratch. Kyle, this is one of the first games where we've seen him get a pretty substantial build order win. I mean, he's got his expansion up way before Drewbie. He's got all his tech that he wants going. He's started to pump units out of his 4 unit producing structures, and he defended the harassment perfectly. So all he needs to do now is defend this next push from Drewbie, and he'll be able to ride into a pretty significant mid-game advantage.
Oh, wow. I don't know what he's going to do. He's got to watch out. That siege tank is right on the edge. He is going to ferry up a few Marines here and start to work on this barracks right here. We do have 1 tank move into position, and he might be able to thwart this attack right here. Marines coming out, targeting that Raven, forces another barracks to go ahead and lift, but Drewbie actually suffering some losses here. In this small attack. He will manage. Oh my God! Beautifully done by Kyle as he drops that auto turret to take out that very low siege tank there. And although Drewbie did interrupt the production of his opponent pretty badly, he did spend a lot of units to do so.
Yeah, but I mean, he killed a lot of tanks as well. Meanwhile, Drewbie lost very minimal tanks. So I like that trade if I'm Drewbie. Meanwhile, getting another factory going to build onto that tech lab and adding on another barracks. And Kyle is responding by throwing down 2 barracks at his natural. It's going to be interesting to see who decides to take their 3rd base first. I think that's going to be pretty telling on how the game is going to go. And meanwhile, Drewbie is moving his entire army around to the east path, going to drive down there. Kyle is keen to intercept. I'm surprised they're both so confident that drops aren't going to come, because moving your army this far out of position and then you get dropped in your main, a very quick way to lose the game.
Oh my God, and they're going to siege up right there. And if he gets vision of this, he's going to get some awesome hits on this army. Managed to hit 1, kill some Marines. Oh my God, siege tank actually moving up into position now. No, he's going to back off. He's going to let his medevacs do the work. Now, here's one key difference in these armies, Chill, is that we do have these Vikings from Kyle, and I believe that more are on the way. Well, we have no Vikings coming out here on Drewbie's side, and he might just be able to chew through those medevacs as well. So that will become increasingly more difficult to deal with, but here we have an attack.
Oh, Drewbie's got to stop walking into tank fire. He's taking so much damage, and his Raven gets sniped by the Vikings. That is so huge for Kyle taking out that Raven. The Raven can really tip the scales of a battle, throwing down auto turrets to deal with tanks, and the point defense drone to completely negate all Marauder and Viking fire. So taking that out, very nice. Meanwhile, Drewbie going to take his third base, throwing down a command center there. Kyle following suit, putting a third base at his natural, going to be floated out, and Kyle has decided to push, it looks like.
Yeah, I think he is, and he's going to be way out of position here, although it might work out pretty good. Oh, the Vikings get caught by these Marines. One goes down, a second one may go down, but these low ground siege tanks did a ton of damage right there. We will not see another Viking, and look at this army just marching right up into the front base of Drewbie. He's going to be able to maximize his damage there. Tank is not sieged. SCVs will have to come off the line to try to trap these tanks and these remaining units here for for Kyle, and he is going to manage to take this off. Wow, did he overcommit, Chill?
Yeah, I think he did. I think Drewbie is getting the better of this as he dealt a lot of damage in the main base of Kyle. And meanwhile, Drewbie still has units pounding down at the natural of Kyle. He's going to siege up, going to put down a scan to get vision and grant him the ability to shoot anything that's just at the outside of the tank range. Now this is Kyle's one chance. He's bringing in the SCVs to try to break the tank line, and all the SCVs getting taken out. Auto turret being dropped to take out the siege tank. So Kyle does get the privilege of staying in the game, but he's lost a lot. Down at 60 supply. Drewbie is down at 60 supply as well, but I feel like he's really got the better of the situation of the two.
He does. I wonder, Drewbie, in a lot of these games, he's actually been very patient about his final attack. And I think that he's got to still be careful with these two siege tanks in operation. They could do some serious damage. And here, moving into position, Marines are going to get crushed right there. They will have to stim up and move forward. But did he now overcommit right now? More SCVs coming out, and he may be able to just deal enough of a big blow to his economy. How are we doing on Harvesters? 26-19 there. Harvester's not even going back. The SCV's not even going back here.
Meanwhile, there's been a drop in the main base of Kyle in the bottom left. And what actually happened there was the Marines, the medevac got taken out by the Vikings, but every Viking of Kyle got taken out by the Marines thereafter. So Kyle has completely lost all air control, having given up all those Vikings.
And the income is actually down here for the Terran player. Of course, he did just move some SCVs over here, not that many. And here we go, another attack could happen right here. Vikings out front yet again. You're too fast, Vikings. And they will go ahead and move out of position. Wow. Tanks unsieged are going to come forward, try to take out these Marines. Drewbie does not have a lot. And, I mean, neither does Kyle.
No, I'm continually surprised when I bring up the income tab to see how few harvesters he has. I'm really surprised that Kyle's got the better of this with the continual drops. And, he kept using his SCVs to break tank lines, and somehow he's ahead. But, that's what happens when you're good at StarCraft. It looks like you're cheating. And Kyle looks like he's stabilized a little bit here. Drewbie is taking kind of a defensive stance in the middle of the map, just sieged up in no man's land, and looks like Kyle's going to punish him with a big drop and a Raven supporting as well.
Oh my God, this could be pretty nasty right here. 1, 2, 3 tanks moving forward, sieging, and he will go ahead and help out, even throws down an auto turret. We're going to have Vikings landing as well. He wants to absolutely maximize his DPS here, and what can he do? It's time for the base trade as he's going to move his Marines up here. Now, he's got to be careful. Here we have Marauders. He's going to drop them right on top of these tanks, take this out as quickly as he can. But this force of Drewbie is getting hurt pretty badly. I don't think he's going to be able to stop it. Tanks just moving forward are going to die. And Kyle may get the best of this one. Look at a lot of Marines coming up here finally to take that out. But, oh, my gosh, he's not going to be able to do anything with those siege tanks in the back. But, man, super tit for tat in this matchup.
Yeah, huge blunder there by Drewbie trying to get in and break that. Now bringing SCVs and Marines to try to break these 3 tanks. One getting taken out. Looks like second one's going to take it down. A lot of losses there. Harvester count shows 42 for Kyle. against only 28 for Drewbie. Now loads everything he's got into the medevacs. Meanwhile, more medevacs from Kyhol coming back, so it looks like they don't even care anymore. They're just going blow for blow with each other.
Wow, and he drops a mule down here to repair this siege tank while it's doing as much damage as he can. Meanwhile, over here in the main base, any units that come out of these barracks, this factory is going to automatically get double damage dealt from those siege tanks. And so he's got to make sure that he can rely on this third base over here. You can see that he's pumping up a lot of barracks over on the other side, but will it be enough? He's going to be able to move down into the natural as well. He's going to move all of his SCVs over to the third, and he's just trying to buy himself some time as these Marines are going to move forward, and I cannot believe it, honestly, going back and forth. But will this secret barracks and this third base of Drewbie make all the difference?
It looks like Kyhol has a better position in Drewbie's main and a better position in his own main. Big tank shot there as Kyhol comes in to clean up, and that is going to be it. GG called by Drewbie. Really, really nicely played by Kyhol in a sick back and forth match in Game 3, and he gets to fight another game as we go to number 4.
He shows that he has what it takes to be able to destroy Drewbie. Well, I don't know if we can necessarily say destroy, but beat him. He could best him. This is not...
Oh, he destroyed him.
Okay, he destroyed him. And so now we're going to be going on to game number 4. And this is... I don't know. I got to be honest there. There was a moment on the counterattack where I thought for sure Drewbie was just about to